I have learned that relationships is what makes everything go around. At Walt Disney World, there is no gigantic book of how work gets done. You call people you know, you call people you've worked with before, you call people you worked for, you help people, and people exchange favors to each other. In fact, Stephen Covey had a great book. It's 30 years old now, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of my favorite chapters in that book is about emotional bank accounts. And the way he talks about it, we all exchange bank accounts with each other emotionally. As I mentioned, when I get up in the morning, I get my wife, as soon as she wakes up, I get her a cup of coffee and I give it to her in bed. Now you're probably saying, wow, that's really nice to do, Dan. That is an emotional deposit because I know I'm going to do something later in the day that's really stupid, that's really bad a decision. I'm going to say something I shouldn't have said. And as long as I'm making those deposits, I can take those withdrawals. And so you need to think about that. What kind of deposits are you making every day with your employees? Are you out talking to them? When they need something from you, are you available? Because if you don't take care of them, the day a hurricane comes, the day COVID hits, the day something happens, they're not going to be there for you. So leaders have to make these investments in other people. Every time I started a new job, I would sit down with each of my direct reports at lunch for a couple of hours. And the only rule we had for that lunch is we're going to try to talk as least about work as possible. I want to know who you are. I want to know where you spend your weekends. I want to know about who you're married to, your kids. As far as you want to share with me, I want to know as much of that as possible. Because once I know you as an individual, I can then lead you and manage you as an individual. If I know what your priorities are, I'm going to know that some weekends you need to be off. I need to know that when it comes to recognition, letting you know regularly is going to be more important than letting you know once a month. And when I know you on a personal level, it just, as I like to say, greases the tracks. Feedback gets easier, stressful situations get easier, working each other gets easier because you've taken that time to invest. And many of us don't take the time to invest in those relationships until we're in points of crisis. And during crisis is not the time to invest in those relationships. It's to do in the good times and put that work in.